Hi, welcome to Brain Studio. And today we are going to see how we can explore this mirror 3 by 3. I have a golden puzzle here. It's made up of gold. Yeah. And let's see how we can scramble and solve it because now it looks so beautiful. And there are pieces which is very similar to the 3 by 3, correct? And yeah, so it has 3 layers, and the pieces are actually very weird because there's a very fat piece and there's a small piece also. So basically, if you see a scrambled cube, you will feel that, oh my God, it's so difficult and it's so complex. Of course, looks always hmm, take us out of the mind, right? So let us see how it going to be solved. So let us understand some of the basics. That is, it is a 3-layered puzzle, and there are small pieces, big pieces, everything. And the other thing is this: the top layer. If you can manage, you can keep anything as a top layer. But for fast learning and fast solving, the top layer should be the smallest pieces in the cube, and then followed by the middle sized as well as the fat or the long sized. Okay, so this is how we need to identify that. These, as you already know, is these are the corners and these are the edges. So similarly, corners and edges, and that's how it is. So let's go ahead. So I'm scrambling a bit. So look at the shapes. Look at how it is turning into a weird structure. We can call it as a structure because it is all about geometry, and there is a lot of shape shifters. So everything became a little bit weird to look at it. But if you see the vision of how the mirror looks in the starting, yeah, you would like to explore it by just fixing it this way and trying to match the sizes, the pieces, and all that. But yeah, we will do it in a manner where you can identify it faster and also solve it. Ready? Okay, then. So let's find some centers which is big, low, high, everything. See, this is a very high center and then it's a very low center. You probably can use this as the top, but we'll check it out whether what we have chosen is the right center or not. So we will find an edge piece which has double the size of the square on the center. This is the double the size, so 2 times. So we have it on a sleeping face. If you see, this is in the middle layer sleeping because we're checking on it. So we'll check this edge piece with one of the centers, just like putting it here. It's not matching. Taking it to the next center. No, no, and no. So we'll try the other way around. That is this way. So again, yeah, I got it. So basically we are right. That is the highest center. So we got one edge matching to one center. And now let's find the other center. This is how you're going to match each edge piece. So basically we will start with making a white plus, because white plus is how the starting position of a cube to be solved, so that you can fix it all around it, all the other pieces. And yes, this is the one center is not matching. And if you see this, because there are no colors, so you might get confused, but keenly watch on the movements I am showing you and how it is going to be solved. So to find the matching center for this edge piece, you have to do again the same thing. Either you can bring it down and check, like doing the bottom as D. Okay, see, I got a D and I matched it. So if I show you like this, it's matching. Yes, you can't see. So I'm just turning it in an angle where you can identify which is the center and which is the edge. So now we got this middle center. This is the middle layer, right? So this is the middle center, and then this is the top. So we can basically for a first reference of identifying the centers, we can name this as the white. So you will know that it is the top center, just like the white center on the 3 by 3. So just a W, so that indication that, okay, this is where we need to start with. And now we are going to find out one more edge piece, which is, we call this as a rectangle piece, and it's a long piece. It's a very long piece. Other than that, see, there's one more rectangle, which is a little bit smaller, but this rectangle is almost the double size of the center's square. So we are going to match this, keeping this center of white on the top with your index finger, so that you can identify where you're going and what is happening, because it's all weird. So we will have to bring it to the bottom layer like this, make it standing, and then try to fix it here. Okay, so what is happening is you're doing it, trying to match this center. No, then they come to the next. Yeah, this is matching. See, matching is nothing, it is getting flushed with these pieces. Then now immediately you keep it to your right side. I'm showing you to an angle so that you can identify it, and take it up. That means R2. You can do an R2. So you got two edges with the side centers matching. So this is the second step, and matching of them that will go. There is sometimes the edge pieces might be sleeping on the bottom layer. So you need to wake it up. So how to wake it up is just wake it up like a R, and then you got a match here. This is by fluke, but if you don't, you have to bring it down to the down layer. But remember that we have already had a match here, so you need to reverse it. So reverse it so that we are safe with these two edges on the top. So now after this matching, if you don't have, you have to just do D, 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 or DI, 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 and match it. Now we got it here, so we can just keep it to the right side and do R, R 2 times, and of course, the third edge is also matched. Then we have to go to the next one. Again, I have the same piece sleeping on the bottom layer. So I have to take it to one side. That means do a R. So I get it as in the middle layer. Then I bring it to the bottom layer like F. So we have it here. So I take it away because I have to refix what I've already solved to the original position. So I take it as a D. I got a match here. Before doing this match, you're going to replace this solved edge piece on the top. So finished, and then do R2 so that you can get the other edge on the top. So if you see, it's a little bit weird to understand what is happening here, but your focus should be only on the plus. So this is the plus. So white plus, we referring it because the mind already understood, if you know 3 by 3, how it is being referred. So it is a white plus, and if you see the plus on the top is like a weird, a little bit, some places it's so small, and a little bigger, then a little bigger, and yeah, biggest like it. So this is the first step in the mirror solving. Now this second step is now solving the corners. Here also, if you see, there's one corner so fat, a little bit fatter than the thinnest. So you need to find it most probably in the bottom layer. So you can fix it here up by just doing an RIDIRD. So just keep it down and then start the formula RI. A little bit tricky because because of the shape shifting pieces, the pieces has to be aligned properly, otherwise it doesn't move. So with this RI, DI, R, and D. So when you do this, we've already fixed on the top layer one of the corner. Now we'll have to find one more. So we have one more. See, it's better to go with the fat, a little bit smaller fatness, and then fix it. So the best way is you can always check whether it is matching. See, like this, but it's not matching. So just do an RI and a DI 2 times, then an R, and then come back to this D. So here, if you just put it like an FI, you know that is going to be matched. So then you can easily do RI, DI, R, and D. Okay. See, I'm keeping it in an angle so that see, I put as the white on the top and identifying that this is always to be maintained at the top. Let's now go for the next piece, which is to be here itself. So you can just bring it down and then fix it up. So Ri, Di, R, and D, and check it out how it goes. Yeah, it is. So once more Ri, Di 2 times, R and D. And the last time it goes and sits on the top. So it is Ri, Di, R, and D. So now what has happened is you felt that this piece is sitting here, but actually wrong. It has to sit here. So don't worry. Bring the piece which is going to be sitting here and then fix it so that this can be replaced in the opposite place. So I have here, see, I got it here. So I'm going to do the same formula, keeping it to the right. Ri, Di 2 times R and D. Sometimes this happens because the pieces are almost very similar and you need to judge by doing the RID formula. So I did that and I'm back. Okay. Okay. So what we do is now we'll finalize with the last corner piece on the mirror cube. So where is that piece? So we have found it here. So we know it's going to sit here. So we have to do RIDI, RD and fix it here. So we have the top layer completed, right? So this is how it looks when it completes the top layer. So when the big pieces are there, we're going to hide them down by just flipping the cube. So now we're going to fix the pieces in the middle layer. Yeah, it looks weird. That's why I'm showing you. This is the middle layer. The easiest way to fix the pieces in the middle layer is finding out the top layer and the bottom layer opposite. Now this is the top layer. So identifying this top layer, we can do it. So we find one more fat piece and try to match that edge piece to the centers of the middle layer. So it's going to be matching. Yeah, you got this. So once you get the match, what you're going to do is try to see that keeping it on the right side, whether it has to go to the back or the front. When you keep it on the right side, is the why is because we can move the right hand easier. So the checking is if I put it as a R, will this go and match to the back center? Or if I do an RI, will this go and match to the middle, the front center? So for me in my cube, this is matching to the front center. So I go back and keep it on the top and start the formula, which is called the front formula. So we do it as RI, UI, RI, UI, RI, then U, R, U, R. This way, what happens is you're not scrambling any of the bottom layer, which is already solved, but you're fixing the edge piece in the middle layer. Okay. Now we have the next piece. This is the second fattest. So try to match it that using the top layer to find which is the center piece, which is matching. Here I found one. Now again, checking is important because whether it has to go to the back center matching or it has to come to the front center matching. For me, again, the same thing is as in the front center. I go back and I start the same formula of RI, UI, RI, UI, RI, U, R, U, R. See, now I got the two fixed, but nothing is scrambled in the lower part, lower layer. Again, the same thing. One is already matched here. It's see this the fatness reduces as you go on checking with each piece. So now this is again, I keep it to my right side, start checking. Yes, not in the front. Now this time it's in the back. So it's back center. So the formula goes like this. R, U, R, U, R, UI, RI, UI, RI. What I can do is in the description, I can write these formulas like the middle layer and the top layer. Okay, so that you don't need to worry if I am going on very fast while I'm showing it to you. Okay, this is the last piece, edge piece, which has to be matched. So I turn the top layer and see, oh, this is here matching. I keep it to my right and I start, it's a friend formula. So Ri, Ui, Ri, Ui, Ri. It's a UR and a UR. No, so I finished my 2 layers. So it looks so simple and easier. Now it's becoming more easier. Now the last layer is, again, we don't know because of the colors and the pieces are different. We don't know how to do it, but yes, I will give you some tips and shortcuts how to identify this. See this, now we have this center and all the edges and the corners are like almost standing. Okay, so whenever we have such conditions, you have to just do the fruit formula. We call this as a fruit formula because it starts with F, R, U, R, I, U, I, F, I. See here, you should be very careful in holding the mirror cube because if you change the position, because when you do an FIC, suddenly we don't know where, which center and how edge and all. So it's be very, very careful in observing the position of the cube and then only you can start solving it. Otherwise, there's a lot of confusion which happens here at this moment. So now if you observe here on the top layer, we have something called as a F. It just look like a F. Okay, so here it denotes a fruit formula again. So keeping it at this position where one of the edges sleeping and in the front and the other one is into right side. And we are going to do it as F, R, U, R, I, U, I, F, I. So what I do is I try to keep my index finger on the top edge so that I don't get messed up with, okay, whether it is going to be this way, and all that. So then again, I have a standing line. I make it as a sleeping line and apply the same fruit formula. This is the shortest method, that only one formula to make the yellow plus, or we call this as a plus on the last layer. So again, it's F, R, U, R, I, U, I, and F, I. See, because of holding my index finger onto the center of the top layer, I'm able to identify where I am, what is happening to the cube. Yeah, so this way it is easy for anybody to not get confused at all. So now I got the plus, the yellow plus, or the mirror as the top layer plus. Now fixing the corners is important. Here to identify, we have to see whether the pieces are matching to the edges. Like, see, this is a bit standing, this is a bit standing, this is a bit standing. So these are all called standing pieces, and this is only the one corner which is sleeping, matching to the edges at the level of it. So we are going to keep it to the left. That means turn this corner which is already sleeping and matching to the edges and the center piece, and start the formula called yellow plus formula. R, U, R, I, U, R, U, U, R, I. Yeah, I understand. Sometimes we don't get this at one go. We might have too many algorithms to use it, but the position changes. But we are going to use only one algorithm, and they change the position of the top layer so that you can get these corners also sitting. So I'll just show you once more again, and then we will go with the next step. R, U, R, I, U, R, U, U, R. So if you observe that you had the same condition of the three pieces, and when you do this, R, yeah, keep it like this and start, it's going to be R, U, R, I, U, R, U, U, R, I. Again, you'll have one, but I'll show you one more condition so that you can get through it. So these are the two edges, corners, which is on the top, and the two corners diagonally opposite us sleeping. We can call it as sitting in the right place. So holding like this, you can just change the position wherein one corner is to your left and start doing the same formula. R, U, R, I, U, R, U, U, R, I. So this time what happens is two corners are standing, the other two corners are sitting. So in this condition, when you have two corners sleeping, keep it to your right side, right palm. This is my right palm, so keep it to your right palm and then start the same formula wherein the standing corners will be on your left palm. So if you see the conditions are U, R, I, U, R, U, U, R, I. Now this is one more condition. I'm showing you all the parities or all the conditions which come on the top layer, wherein this time, if you see, every corner is standing, nothing is matching with the edges and the centerpiece. I'm sure if you can observe the angle at which I'm showing, all the corner pieces are standing. So in this way, you can keep it any which way you want and then start the formula. R, U, R, I, U, R, U, U, R, I. So here again, I occurred as two sleeping corners and two standing corners. So I'm going to take the sleeping corners to my right side and start the same formula. So for every combination, there is only one formula for making the corners sit, sleep, or match with the centers and edges. So it's again like R, U, R, I, U, R, U, U, R, I. So you got one corner. I always keep it to my left so that I can do it faster. It's R, U, R, I, U, R, U, U, R, I. So this is again, I got one corner, and now I'm going to do the same formula. R, U, R, I, U, R, U, U, R, I. So now if you see the condition, every corner and the edge pieces are flattened or sleeping. So look at the cube, how it looks now. So I try to match it. No, it's not matching. See, every corner is not matching, and it's looking weird again on the top layer as its projection. But we are going to solve that also, and finally show you how the starting the cube was. So now we find out any two corners which are matching to the sides, second layer or third layer. So nothing is matching because I just tried. No, yeah. No, yeah, I got two. See here, this is one corner, this is the second corner, which are almost matching to these corners in the second and the third layer. So I keep these two corners, which is matching to my back as a back. And I use the formula, which of course, it's going to be a little tough, but here you need to observe a lot of the holding position, because look at the cube, how it turns into an edge, how it comes back with the formula. So it is Ri, F, Ri, B, B. Look at that. See, look at the cube. It's then again R, Fi, Ri, B, B, and RR, UI. Superb, right? See, I got all the corners matched, but when one movement, your algorithm goes wrong, you'll have a messy cube here. So finally, we are coming to the last step, wherein one edge piece, 2, 3, and 4 edge piece has to sit in the right places between the corners. And I find that one edge piece is already between two corners and sitting in the right place. Now let's fix these three. And I'm keeping this at the back and this is the front. So I want to check whether it has to go to my left or to my right. So if I check, it has to go to the left, this edge piece. So I follow this pattern. Here also you need to be very, very conscious in doing this pattern because it goes weird. Okay, so start. So it's F, F, U, then RI, then L, then again F, F, R, Li, a U, and an FF. So look at the magic. Look at the magic. Right? So it looks so difficult. It looks also very easy. So I've kept this white because so that my index finger can always direct me of what is happening in the cube until the last time. When I'm doing the last corner, last layer of this mirror, I also have the index on the top so that I know what is happening with the mirror cube. And this is how you can solve the mirror cube with the easiest steps. Yeah, of course, it takes a long time to understand, but once you understand, it's going to be easier and faster, and you can solve it within 2.5 minutes. If you're a beginner, always it takes within 1.5 minutes if you practice a lot. So it's all about mindset and creativity of your brain, and having a lot of patience in doing it. See you. Thank you. Happy cubing. Bye.